Welcome back to Shabby Shack Studio, friends. And today we were actually just doing a really fun little quote page. This is actually going to be the Bujo cover for my March journal. I am running late because it has been hectic here in the studio. But you know what? That's the good thing about doing your own journal. You can do it to your own time frame. And you know what? Giving myself a little grace this month for a crazy hectic time and lots going on behind the scenes. So who cares? Okay, so let's focus on their sweet little quote page. Without the rain, there would be no rainbow. So this one is a little bit of a quote that I found and then I reworded it to suit me. And I wanted to create just this really easy, simple rainbow, watercolor rainbow. I wanted it to be perfectly imperfect and kind of painterly, with a little bit of line work in the clouds and the rain and my favorite topography, which of course is just straight from my imagination and by hand. I've used a very simple color palette of the yellow ochre, which you can see me painting with now. Next is going to be the pink that goes above, and that is the quinacridone rose. I then move on to the sap green and the ultramarine deep, which has kind of a purpley blue feel, which is lovely. This is a quick video. It is something that's fun. You could just do to fill up pages in your journal if you're wanting to sit down and be creative and create something that's fun. I am actually going to vectorize this one and turn it into a card. I think this would be a really sweet kind of get well card, cheer up a friend card, you know, any reason at all card. So and I love the way the rainbow came out. It's really exactly as I intended, with that kind of imperfect painterly finish. So I didn't want it to be perfectly filled in, and I wanted it to look really kind of bloom and blend with the watercolor. And you can see I have mixed a whole lot of water in there, and I have played around with this with the colors on this. And interestingly, the paper is actually a Reeves brand. It's a premium heavy drawing paper, and it is a 220 GSM acid free. So here on the channel, we like to get creative on a budget, and we like to think outside the square when we get creative. I personally love working with really thick, lovely, heavyweight papers, and quite honestly, I actually do love watercoloring with them because they're incredibly forgiving because of the weight of the paper, and I love how the watercolor plays on these papers as well. So I'm not one that believes you can only watercolor on water paper. I am all up for a challenge, and I'm up for creating whatever I want when the mood takes me. So if you are that way inclined, you have found your tribe. Pull up a chair and create with me. as you can see, I'm just moving the paper around so that I'm pulling the brush towards me because it's going to give me the most control with that lovely tip, either pushing it away or pulling it toward me. Trying to paint the arch so that it has a little bit of a smooth edge with a weird angle on your wrist is not ideal, so feel free to flip that paper around and play with that. And again, we are going for perfectly imperfect, so if you are playing with this one for whatever reason, this would actually make a really great card you could make just fresh, straight off your art table for a friend. And they may even decide to frame it because you've made their day by just being so wonderfully thoughtful. And let's not forget that a gift of your time is really one of the best gifts you can ever give someone. To actually be saying, look, I'm going to take the time to gift you this lovely thoughtful gift that I didn't just go and buy. And yes, bought gifts are lovely, but made gifts are so much better, and they're a gift from you to them, and it's your creativity and it's just your thoughtfulness, and it's a gift to your heart. So don't be afraid to gift something to a friend you think will actually appreciate it, of course, because otherwise it's just going to break your little heart for no reason at all. So I definitely try to give of myself to the people that give of me. Now you can see me simply playing with that font that I had just penciled in. I did the same with the rainbow, just keeping the actual pencil strokes really light. That way you can erase them without having bruised the page. The watercolour in most cases will actually cover the pencil and you won't really have to worry about it being visible. Once everything is really dry, I will erase it in any case. Your font can be exactly whatever suits you. So if you want to use, a topography you found online, or even from like a sketchbook, one of those font books that you can find, do that. Otherwise, you could use a marker, you could do anything at all. And then I'm actually just going to add a little bit of shading with this because, again, it's all about line work and simple lines and not overcomplicating it. I definitely have had a crazy few months, and this is about, giving myself grace and permission to get done what I possibly can, but make sure that I'm focusing on my happiness and my mental health as well. So hopefully this is a little reminder to you that we are all allowed to let ourselves not do all the things when we just can't because we have a lot going on. Stop thinking that you have to be perfect, and like, this is a huge thing for me, to let yourself drop a ball. It's okay. So in case you needed to hear that today, let me tell you, it's okay to drop the ball. Occasionally when you need to, if it means that it's good for your mental health. And now I've simply just kind of put some diagonal lines in for the rain. I didn't want it to fill up the entire card because it just felt too busy, so I did play with a pencil guide first. And as you can see, it's again perfectly imperfect, lots of dots and dashes, uneven, but I've kept the spacing pretty much the same throughout. But then I was able to then not have to keep the rain looking uniform, which to me just feels, I know that this is not kind of realistic, but it just feels more like it's rain and less like it's just mess. That's what makes sense to me. Hopefully it makes sense to you. And then I'm going to move on and do the clouds, and I just want them to look light and fluffy. But again, I do love this line work situation. You'll see that I have some Zentangle videos too. So if this is something that floats your boat, something that makes your heart happy, then do look for those other videos as well. And I will be doing more in future because I am an attention to detail kind of gal. So I find them just fun and joyous to create as a whole. Now, a little reminder in case you're interested, I actually do create a few of these pieces and turn them into cards and printables on my website, so you can find all those links below, plus a list of the supplies again, so if you didn't write down the paper, the colours I've used in the paints, etc, etc, don't worry, they're all below for you. There's no links, you're not going to get sent anywhere, there's not affiliation or anything at this stage. I just think it's easy for you to pick them up somewhere that's inexpensive, that is local to you, which can be craft stores and discount stores. And even if you're wandering around our op shops, it's amazing how many beautiful paints and pads of paper and things that you can pick up from fellow creatives that have found that they've overbought and then didn't use them. So I'm a big fan of reduce, reuse, recycle, and inexpensive toys and playthings that make it easy for us to create on a budget. Now you can see me erasing those lines, and I do apologise that it does tend to shake the video around a little bit, but I've been using this new setup and it's sitting on the table instead of sitting on a stand, and I actually think otherwise it picks up the video so much easier. But erasing does look a little bit like I'm having an earthquake, so that's, I hope you'll forgive me and you won't mind so much. I've edited most of the erasing out, but as you can see, I just keep coming back in with the pencil and adding a few more lines before I ink, just because I want it to look fluffy and fun like a cloud, but I don't want it to look overworked. So again, if you're a person that just wants to, fly by the seat of your pants kind of gal, and just create as you go, then feel free to do that as well. Do you, boo? I am a big fan. I love a pencil guide first, and just to make sure I'm happy before I lay that ink down. Now we are coming to the end of this video. It is just a short, fun little one, and I will add some more March pages if time allows. I will need to focus on April because I've been so busy. But stay tuned, there's always more videos coming. I'm always creating something. If you've been here a minute, you know that. But I do want to say thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate the support. And hello to all the newbies. I've had so much support for a lot of my air dry clay tags lately, and I'm about to hit 10K on that first video, and that just blows my mind. So thanks for being here. Thank you for being you. I hope you had a wonderful March. Be kind to yourself and look for the rainbow.